Hey friend, Kevin Keene here with Sounds to Live By. Thanks for tuning in today. If you haven't gotten my killer melody checklist yet, the link is below or in the bio, and you can download that and begin to check your melodies against this 5-step outline to see if they're really as good as they can possibly be. I'm sure they're good, but I want them to be amazing. I want to help you write melodies that captivate the listener, that help bring them into the story you're telling, into the experience you're trying to promote. And the only way we can do that is to really look at them, ask some hard questions, and make sure they pass the test before we go on to completing whatever song you're working on. So grab that checklist. I believe it'll help you. Link is below. Today, I love today's topic. If you've studied the Enneagram personality test at all, I'm a 1 on the Enneagram, so I love process, structure, I love deadlines, and I love schedules, and that's what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about how to make sure you continually improve as a songwriter by constantly releasing music. Because here's the thing. If we don't release music, we will constantly work on the same batch of songs forever. That's just the way it is. We're going to work on a song and work on a song and work on a song and never move to the next one because we're trying to perfect this one song instead of looking at as our whole career, as the scope of our work, of what we do and who we are. We look at one song and say, this has to define me. This has to be amazing. That's not the case. You want to look at your entire career as speaking for your work, not each individual song. So we've got to think a little less preciously on each individual song and look at, I just want to write music. I want to continually and consistently and constantly write music. And the way to do that is to release the songs you have so you can move on to the next one. So how do we do that? Okay, so releasing music can look different for different people. You could say releasing music and define it for yourself as I'm going to release on all streaming platforms a song every so often, and it's going to be out there for the world to hear. Or releasing to you could be I'm going to write a song and release it at my favorite coffee shop that has an open mic night that I love to go to. I'm going to release it there. Think of releasing as your song getting out into the world in some form where you can say, it's done, I'm going to move on to the next one. I don't want to make it sound like you shouldn't care about each song. You should pour your heart and soul into them, but at some point you have to look at, I've got to keep moving. I've got to keep growing. I've got to keep moving forward. Because if we settle and just, I don't know, if we overanalyze and overthink about songs to the point of never releasing them, we'll stagnate. We'll stop growing. Now, it is okay if you have a song that's just not coming together. It's okay to shelf it, to archive it, and come back to it at a later time. I've heard so many stories of so many amazing songs that were written over years that people just let sit, and eventually that perfect bridge or chorus or verse, whatever it was, came to them, and then they released it. That's fine too. I'm just saying don't constantly work on one song and never move on. Either shelf it, archive it, or finish it and move forward. We have to finish songs. Maybe that's another way to look at it. Look at it as releasing or finishing. If you're not going to release it to where other people can hear it, at least finish it. Say that it's finished. Put it in a phone recording and put it in a folder on your documents that says finish songs and finish. Maybe that's releasing to you. It's just documenting that they're finished. But it's important that we finish. So that's step number 1. I want you to define what releasing music or finishing music looks like for you. I'll let you a little secret into my process. Right now, in 2020, it's February 4th when I'm filming this. I'm trying to release 12 songs in 2020. That's a song a month. Now, I didn't release one in January. I have one that's going off to master on Wednesday, and it will be released soon. So I'm trying to write 12 songs in 2020. That's a song a month. So I want you, a big thing in this video, I want you to take this seriously. If you're a serious songwriter, I want you to decide for 2020 how many songs you are going to finish/release. Like I said, if you don't want to put them up on streaming services, if you're not ready to record yet, if you're not ready to get in the studio, if you can't afford it, or you're just not at that point yet, how are you going to define songs being released or finished? Like I said, are you going to play a coffee shop? Are you going to play a house show? If you're in a band or you are an artist that is recording, how many songs are you going to release? You need to decide right now. It's only February. You can make this happen in 2020. What is your plan this year? How many songs are you going to finish/release? You have to decide that. That's step one. Then step two is reverse engineering that process of, if you've got to finish X amount of songs this year, when are you going to release them? When are you going to finish them? And what does that mean for your schedule leading up to those release days? So, for example, for me, I know if I'm going to release a song at the end of every month, then that means the first week of the month I'm writing, I'm workshopping those songs, I'm doing little demos, I'm, getting into the creative process, I'm doing the groundwork, laying the groundwork so that I can begin to construct this song. Second week, I'm recording whichever song I've decided to release in any given month. I have some equipment at home. I'll do some stuff at home, but then I also work at a studio called Red Barn. I'll track there. Little commercial for Red Barn. Studio owner Jason Miller is awesome. I produce and mix there for him and work with his artists, and then artists that I also bring in. I'll put the link below. Check out Red Barn. It's an amazing place. If you're ready to record your next project, shameless plug here, email me, send me your demos, let me know what you got, let me know what you're working with. But Red Barn is an amazing place to record. Northwest Arkansas is a beautiful place to visit anyway. Make a little vacation out of it. Come down for a week, record your next project, back to your regular scheduled program. So anyway, week 3, I'm mixing, since I mix myself. And then week 4 goes off to master, and I upload it to whatever digital platform I'm using to distribute, which for me is CD Baby, and then it's out in the world. So I know I have to stick to that schedule if I'm going to release a song a month. Now, if you might be saying, well, good for you, Kevin, that you can do all that. I can't do all that. This is why you have to get realistic with your process. This is why you have to define what releasing and finishing songs looks like and reverse engineer if you're capable of doing that. Maybe you say, okay, I do actually want to record and release, but I can't do one a month. Then you could go and say, I'm going to take a month to write, and then I'm going to take a month to record. I'm going to release one song every 3 months. So I'm going to write a month. I'm going to track it either by myself. Maybe if you can record yourself, at least get clean signals that someone else like myself could mix for you and get it sounding amazing. Then you could track on your own. Or maybe if you can get in the studio in that second month. And then the third month, you market and release. At some point, I'm going to have some people on here that can help you as a songwriter understand how to market your music, how to set up your music for collections for royalties, make sure your copyright is set and you have your song registered in all the right places so that when your song plays, you're actually getting paid the money that you're deserved. A lot of people don't know how to do that. I want to help you do that, and I have some people hopefully coming up that are going to help speak into that. So that might be your schedule. Maybe you write, record, and then release in a 3-month period. Or maybe you're saying, like, I'm brand new to this. I just want to write and be able to play a house show for my friends, and I want to release music that way. I want to release a song every 3 months, have a house show every 3 months, and I want to have 2 or 3 new songs. That's awesome. As long as you can define what it looks like for you and then reverse engineer what that means. How much work do you have to put in? Where are you going to set on your calendar, I'm going to write from this time to this time on these days? That's doing the work. We've talked about it before, but Stephen Pressfield, we just want professional songwriters or professional writers in general just do the work. They take the prestige out of it and they just get to work. So how often are you going to have to sit down and write in order to have these songs ready to be released into the world? You have to reverse engineer that, and then you have to schedule it. And when you schedule it, you got to stick to it. Make sure that you're putting realistic time frames. Don't put, I'm going to write for 4 hours if you're not a really heavy songwriter where you're used to spending 4 hours on a song or on a songwriting session. Give yourself an hour slot 5 days a week. Make sure that you're writing, or to start out, if that's too much, 20 minutes. Write for 20, 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Keep yourself productive. Keep yourself in a flow state. If you don't write enough, you cannot get into a flow state where you're working that creative muscle to the point where you're like, this feels good. This feels natural. You want to become experienced. You want to become a professional. So those are your 3 steps. Define what releasing music looks like to you. Number 1. Number 2, reverse engineer the process. So if you want to release a song a month to your friends in your living room, how often do you have to write for that? Put it on the schedule, put it on the calendar, and book the show. If you want to release a song a month like me, how often do you have to get in the studio? You're going to probably have to find a studio that you have a consistent, I pay this much a month, and this guarantees that I get studio time and that I get a song a month. We have a client at Red Barn that does that. They come in every month. They paid for a 6-month period of time. They come in every month. They get the song done, and they have a new song every month. That's awesome. If you can do that, you should do that. Or are you like, I want to release a song every 3 months, or I want to release 1 EP this year, which means I have this much time to write, get in the studio, get it tracked, get it mixed, get it mastered, get it out. Whatever that is to you, reverse engineer it and then schedule it and stick to it. That's as simple as it is. You have to set deadlines for yourself. You have to put it on the calendar if you're going to be a serious songwriter. So here's what I want you to do. This is just for my enjoyment, and I'm going to brag on you. But I want you to email me a screenshot of your calendar, or picture if it's a paper calendar, with your writing sessions blocked out. And I'm going to share it on social media. And I'll put it out in an email blast bragging on you. But I want you to email me, kevinkeen@gmail.com. I want you to screenshot your calendar with your writing dates blocked out, your writing sessions blocked out. And then I want you to tell me what your goal is for 2020. How many songs are you going to release and finish? What's your method of release? And what is your plan to accomplish that? Because I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to make sure you do it. I will write down your name and I will call you on it if you do not have a song released when you say you're going to. So do that. Send me an email. Send me a screenshot of your writing sessions blocked out. I will brag on you. I will post it everywhere because I want to encourage you to accomplish your dreams and goals. We have to stick together. We have to encourage each other to make this stuff happen. It doesn't happen by itself. But if we stick together, we can make it happen. Again, if you haven't got my Killer Melody Checklist, download that below. Click on that link in the bio, wherever you are. Get that. It's going to help you when you're in these writing sessions. Print it out and just keep it in your guitar case or next to your piano. It's going to help you make sure your melody is everything it can be. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.